So let's get into Mortal Kombat 1. This is the current state of things as I see it, and I'm going to tie in some of my opinion as to where we're going, if we're going anywhere. So, excuse me. A few weeks ago, we're going to there's a lot of loose ends that we need to talk about. A few weeks ago, Interloco, who is a data miner in the Mortal Kombat community, meaning he goes through the lines of code in the game to see if he can see things that they're planning for in the future, effectively. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, but that's kind of what it boils down to. So Interloco, one of two major data miners, the other one being the Thinny, and I think we're not going to actually get into anything that the Thinny has said, though I do know that the Thinny has confirmed a lot of the things that Interloco came out with. So this is from November 23rd. So this is 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Interloco produced these two images about Kombat Pack 3, because in the information, he was running filters, which I don't exactly follow how that works. I can't comprehend what that means necessarily, but these filters led him to believe that these were our options for Kombat Pack 3 characters. Presumably just the Mortal Kombat characters, but they are as follows. We have Blaze, Cassie, Blade, because in Mortal Kombat 1 universe, it wouldn't have been Sonya and Johnny, it would have been Cassie and somebody else, Sonya and somebody else, presumably. So Cassie, Blade, Dagon, Su-Hao, Jade, Jarek, Cobra, Kotal Khan, Mocap, Nightwolf, and Triborg. And then a different set of filters led him to believe that the game possible characters for Kombat Pack 3 would be Blaze, Su-Hao, Jade, Jarek, Cobra, Kotal Khan, Nightwolf, and Triborg. So a lot of overlap here. The ones in the squares, for those of you looking, those of you listening in the post, there are some characters that have squares around them in these images. Those in the first image being Blaze, Cassie, Blade, and Cobra. And in the second image being Blaze, Jade, Cobra, and Kotal Khan have one color around them. And then Su-Hao, Jarek, Nightwolf, and Triborg have a different color around them. So the squares are characters who share a slot together in the code, presumably somewhere around character select or something along those lines. So it will be one or the other, not both. It doesn't, on the green squares, he doesn't necessarily have them paired up, but we do see Su-Hao and Jarek paired up, so it'll be one or the other, and then we see Nightwolf and Triborg paired up, so it'll be one or the other. So these characters, I think, are kind of irrelevant. I think that a lot of them are just placeholders. We know very explicitly at this point that Cobra is not going to be a playable character in the traditional sense, because he's already kind of a playable character in that he is one of the personas for Ghostface. So Cobra and Kira both are the alternate personas for Ghostface. Not going to be playable characters. Could they be cameos? Sure. Cameos are kind of fair game for whatever. We're not going to talk about cameos because cameos don't follow the same rules, and there's no real easily discernible way how they're determining who gets cameo spot and who doesn't. Aside from, I don't think we're going to get a guest cameo. It's just we're going to get guest characters, but whatever. So, and for those of you who are getting ahead of me, yes, I know that there have been some talk of Mortal Kombat 1 being dead in the water. Kombat Pack 3 is not happening. We're going to get there. As far as these characters are concerned, I really don't think any of them were up for grabs aside from Jade and maybe Jarek. Maybe Jarek. Nightwolf, they're going to save for the next game because I think they're going to give us another race or gender swap version, gender swap character in Nightwolf. But Triborg not going to be here because all of the personas, unless he is a cameo, again, cameos follow different rules. Triborg's not going to be in this game. Had Kombat Pack 3 been a thing, again, there is still a slim possibility that it is, but we're going to get there. Because all of the other elements of Triborg are present in this game. I would be very, very surprised if we ever see Triborg again. So where did this list of characters come from? Probably using these. Also, Su-Hao, no way in hell. Was one of the least popular characters in Mortal Kombat history. And when he died in the comic books, people literally cheered. So no, Suhao is probably never going to be in another game again either, unless they do some crazy rework and make him awesome like Tremor, which I highly doubt. I would be willing to put money on the fact that they put these names in the code for this very reason, so that we would be having this conversation, so that we would be speculating over placeholder text, because that's what this is. We're reading lines of text and seeing these names and going, oh, this must be where it's going. I think there's a lot of subterfuge on NetherRealm's part as far as Kombat Pack 3 is or was concerned. So I think it would be super interesting to see how they would reimagine Blaze in this new era. I think that Jade was kind of a given. I think Cassie Blade also, maybe not as Cassie Blade, but possibly, was a little bit of a given as well, because she's been in and out of the code for so long. Like, I think this new strategy has not been in place the whole time, where they're throwing in red herrings all over the place. We've speculated at red herrings before, but I don't think we've ever actually gotten red herrings before. Just, you know, things didn't pan out, so they took certain things out of the code, out of in previous games. So then from there, we have the leak from what's his name? Reddit poster. Where did it go? Fate Unknown, right there. So Fate Unknown then posted that there's been a couple of things from Fate Unknown, so we're almost to the cancellation. But Fate Unknown to my knowledge, has never been incorrect in any sort of major way. He might have been a little bit off in some ways, but by and large, one of the most consistent leakers, very likely somebody who actually works at NetherRealm. So he has started leaking information back in Mortal Kombat 11 days. Maybe was X, but I don't remember seeing him. I wasn't also as active in the community for X, so just my understanding of where Fate Unknown comes from is in the Mortal Kombat 11 cycle. And that's when he started getting this track record of being one of the most accurate leakers. He said that we're going to be seeing Jade, Cassie Cage, Kung Jin, Sonya, and Kano as characters. And then he didn't say who the guest character, but he said that we were going to get those and then 2 guest characters, not 3 for Kombat Pack 3. Then he said, which that seems like a fairly accurate, because Kung Jin has been in and out of the code a lot. Sonya as well. Kano, I don't think we've seen Kano proper in any of the data mined code at all. But we've seen Sonya, at least in the early days of the game. Jade like I said, is kind of a given at this point. And then we got information from Fate Unknown that was presumably confirmed by 2 other insiders through Thinny and Interloco, specifically through Thinny. I'm not going to try and pull them up just because I don't want to take the time. But Thinny said that he has confirmed, the last thing we heard from Thinny about this was that he has now had confirmed by 2 other sources the same thing that Fate Unknown has said, in that Kombat Pack 3 is not going to be happening because Chaos Reigns sold fairly poorly, amongst other things, other reasons. Seems that fan backlash might have been a little bit too much as far as Cyrax and Sector were concerned, which we saw coming. So that leaves us to why I have any sort of hope at all. If we have 3 presumable insiders in NetherRealm telling us that Kombat Pack 3 is not happening, we're going to get Conan next and then T1000 after that, and that's it. They've started work on their next game, and so they're not going to be supporting Mortal Kombat 1 anymore. Let's look at that, because those 3 leakers all confirmed to Thinny. Thinny did not give us, well, actually, I'm second guessing that, so maybe we should go see Thinny. Thinny did not give us the characters that the other 2 leakers said, but we'll just search for Thinny. The Thinny, fine. There he is. The Thinny. So Thinny said, that's his pinned. Oh, also Conan trailer dropped as well. Like I said, lots of trailers. Where is it? Divided community. All information of Mercy and Floyd has been deleted from the code. Yes, that is, again, kind of to be expected. All right, so Thinny says, and yeah, it looks like he did not give us the list. Since wording of my last post was confusing, there's also a way of explaining it. Fate and another insider are saying KP3 is canceled, but they both have different DLC lists. So they both had different characters that were going to be part of DLC KP3. So, and I guess it was just one other insider. I thought he said there was a second. Oh, I was assuming there was a confirmation from somebody else and then this one, but I guess not. I was wrong. It was 2, not 3. But still, second insider said that KP3 was canceled, but her list of characters was different, which means the powers that be at NetherRealm were likely disseminating false information to find the leaks. Because after this, Fate Unknown deleted their Reddit account and I believe their social media accounts too. So it seems like they rooted out their leak and they took care of it. And so, and the reason I say this is because we have different DLC lists, right? But also, if they're not within approximately 2 years of releasing the next game, very likely if they're not within a year of announcing the next game, then they're not going to stop at least some sort of cursory support of the current game, just because that's the way that NetherRealm works. That's the way that Warner Brothers wants the rest of their company to work, because NetherRealm is the one that's been making them money. So that is the reason why I still have faith that still have a glimmer of hope, I guess I should say, that there will be some sort of KP3. Will it be huge? Will it be as big as Chaos Reigns? Probably not. They're not going to put that kind of money into it if it didn't sell super well. But I think there will be, there's been speculation. Some people are thinking that maybe they'll give us a smaller DLC count and they'll release those characters individually instead of as a pack. I think that is totally within the realm of possibility. I think that the likelihood of them completely abandoning it after T1000 is very, very slim. Very, 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 very slim. So, yeah, with that being said, that's where I'm weighing in on the Mortal Kombat situation as it stands. I thank you very much, nerds, for sticking around.